I think we got the difference.
We got it now. So you were looking at Steve for a while. He's not me. We do have membership cards up in front, and Steve, raise your hand. Steve is the treasurer and can take it from there. And so I will go on beyond this. Thank you, Steve. All right, so we are here in front of Monument Place. We have the Grand Potentate, Bruce
Illustrious
McNeil.
Potentate.
The illustrious Potentate.
Yes, you are.
Excuse me. Monument Place was built in 1798, making it the oldest building that still exists here in Wheeling. It was built by Lydia Boggs Shepherd and her husband Moses Shepherd. And the original building, as Lydia just told you, is just this center 5-bay section. Now, Lydia and her husband Moses had a plantation here. They had slaves. They had a mill with a water wheel on the creek behind this. And they had a tree in the front yard that Lydia mentioned over there. And you can see the tree now has a little plaza in front of it. It's a huge sycamore tree. And when it was about to fail a couple of years ago, they cut off the main part of it, and daggone if the tree didn't come back. And so they're giving it another shot. We call it a witness tree. A witness tree is something that saw things throughout history. So being 300 years old, it was just a sapling when the first settlers came to what's now the United States. Truly amazing. So if you have a chance, go down and see the tree. Between here and the tree, you will see a little security fence around a hole that has appeared suddenly with the recent rains. Don't know what it is, but we have with us a handy-dandy little phone attachment. It's called an endoscopic camera, which I'll let Steve hold. And after the tour, if anyone is interested, we'll try to take a look and see what's down in there. Now, back to the house. As I said, the Shepherds had a plantation here. Lydia Shepherd was quite the social butterfly. And one of the things that she is credited with doing is having the National Road go right past her house. There was a big debate. Should the National Road come through Wheeling or should it go through Wellsburg? Well, Lydia was good friends with Senator Henry Clay from Kentucky, and together they convinced the government to bring National Road here. And National Road now makes a 90-degree turn between here and McDonald's so that it could pass by Lydia's house. Now, Lydia entertained lots of people while she was here. Among them, George Washington, Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, John C. Calhoun, and the Marquis de Lafayette. Now, the third floor of this house, the original house, was a ballroom. And up there, they say, in her old age, Lydia kept her gowns from these various fancy events so that she could reminisce about the people who came to see her. I don't think there are gowns out there now, but I understand they have refurbished the third floor, so you'll be able to see the new additions that they've done up there. Now, Lydia died in 1867. She was 101 years old. And at that time, then, it was purchased. Oh, let me go back a little bit to Moses. Moses was a contractor and built, among other things, the bridge that still exists on National Road in 1817. That, of course, made it easier for people to come by Lydia's house. Now, he died in 1832 in a cholera epidemic, and she remarried a man by the name of Daniel Cruger.
But Jeanne, you're telling my story.
I'm just briefly, and I'm sure you will tell more.
You're telling my story.
But Daniel Kruger's last name was spelled C-R-U-G-E-R. And of course, that's not the way it's spelled now. So Lydia will tell you more about all of that. Now, after Lydia passed away, she's 260 now, so she's doing pretty well, don't you think? The property, the plantation was divided into building lots and became Elm Grove. And then in 1870, Alonzo and Mary Loring purchased the mansion and changed the name from Shepherd Hall to Monument Place. There was a monument to Henry Clay that stood in the yard, right over there. It deteriorated over time and is no longer there, obviously. The Loring's daughter, Lucy Loring Milton, became the next owner in 1907, and we think she is the one who built the addition on each end. So the building to your left there, with the windows, is relatively new, 1907, and the building, the end over here, is relatively new. So the way we'll do this is, as you come in, you'll be divided into groups. We have a large group tonight, and so you will go one of several places, but you'll get to see the whole building. Now I'm going to walk through for the live feed so that people will be able to see the building on Facebook, and then this will be posted on Facebook later, so, you know, wave, you might see yourself later on. Okay, and then afterwards in what they call the ballroom, which is a newer addition, there are some cookies and punch, and we'll see you there. Now, the Osiris Shrine is a non-profit. They are trying very hard to maintain this building, and the potentate will tell you that it's really rough to get grants to help with the support of this building. One of the things they do is rent the ballroom for events. And if you have a large group that needs an event space, you can call their office at 304-242-2911. I'll repeat that, 304-242-2911. Now, if you're interested in more about Friends of Wheeling, here's a QR code that will take you to our homepage, and you can learn more about us. And if you decide to join later on, you can join from there. So again, welcome. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoy your tour, and just ignore me when I'm walking through and looking at different rooms.
Okay. If anybody has any questions about being a Shriner, you can talk to me. We have members of our shrine, ladies of our shrine in here. If you have any questions, they'll know. Bill, you got...
Bruce, tell him about standing room.
Some will have chairs. All right. All right, Lydia's going that way, so I will start over here. This is now the office of the shrine, but this was Lydia's library, and they say that she spent most of her time in this room. Now, at the time, the room through those doors did not exist. So this would have been a smaller room, very comfortable, where she enjoyed reading and entertaining small groups of people. Now I will go upstairs while the crowd is going the other direction. This is the main hallway. You see a lovely lamp here with Monument Place on top of it. And the Facebook trip will go downstairs in just a little bit, but we'll start up. We're at the landing, which has a mirror, a nice sconce. And here we have the boardroom, and this would have been the ballroom during Lydia's time. Beautifully decorated, and would have been large enough for a nice party. Now next to it is a room that was one of the Lucy Loring Milton's additions. And is now decorated as a bedroom. Closets. And a bathroom. Of course, this is indoor plumbing now, and Lydia and Moses would not have had indoor plumbing. And a second room that's decorated as a bedroom. Very nicely decorated. Toward the back, we have another office. Looks like it's set up for refreshments. I would guess this is the potentate's office. We'll go down the rear stairs in just a minute, but here is another bathroom. And then, of course, this would be a new addition to the house after the Shepherds lived here. I like the little cherubs all along the wall. And what looks like a Christmas storage room, but could have been another bedroom. And I'll go down the rear stairs. It was quite common at that time to have front stairs and rear stairs. Sometimes the servants would use the rear stairs, while the owners and the guests would have used the main stairs. Here's a ladies' room. I suppose this is used when they have large events here in the ballroom. Nicely decorated.
I'm going to show you, Jeanne.
Oh, you got books upstairs?
Yes. You want to see where they're at?
Yes.
Just in case?
And I will go downstairs while the tour groups are still in the main rooms of the first floor. So I'm now going into the basement. A men's room and another ladies' room. And a smaller ballroom that I understand can be rented for events. Let's see if I can find some light switches. So quite a large space. And now I'll go back up to the main floor.
We need one more row of chairs.
And we'll run into some of the tour group.
Is Bruce coming down?
And this is the larger ballroom.
Ballroom.
And this can be rented for large events. I've been told that it can hold 250 for a dinner, for instance, and up to 300 for other events. It's a very large. Would be great for wedding receptions or large groups.
Capacity is 250.
Capacity of 250. Okay, thank you. All right. Hi, girls. And
No running,
we'll keep walking around here.
we can't go there.
Now, I understand that this room would have been divided into two, where there's a smaller room toward the front, and Lydia's dining room would have been toward the rear. The columns are a new addition. But it's also a beautifully decorated room with some Shriner memorabilia, luminaries. And then finally, Lydia is talking with the group in this room, and I'll just walk in just for a second.
Let me see if I'm allowed to start.
Just so you can see the room. And we have our big group here, and I will be signing off so Lydia can welcome our guests and entertain them with some stories.
All right. So like I said, my story
So thank you for joining the Friends of Wheeling Tour. Today is Thursday, August the 13th. This is Friends of Wheeling, signing off.